When is this going to end? I thought I was going to have a quiet afternoon, relax, get some fresh air. Well, I did that. Then I came back home, scoured the news, and bang, another case, another murder, multiple people involved, other people involved, like the Pushka story from earlier on, that rat vermin, Joseph Pushka, who killed Aisling Murphy. You lift up a rock and all these other cockroaches come flying out from underneath it. Seems to be the way with these murders, attacks. It's usually more than one person involved. So here was me thinking I was going to do a story about flower arranging this afternoon or this evening. Maybe something about just peace and tranquility. But no, absolutely not. Story has concluded or almost concluded this afternoon. And I can remember this when it was first reported on a few months ago. I didn't even have time to cover it. There's too many other more extreme cases on the go at the time, but here we have it today where it has reached its conclusion. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it. Leave a comment, cut and paste the link, forward it on, share it with whoever you like. If you don't mind, that would be nice. Speaking of nice, here's a couple of choir boys. Couple of choir boys for you. Two men convicted of murdering Mahamud Ilyas after a row over a stolen bag of cannabis. The jury of 7 men and 5 women deliberated for 7 hours and 52 minutes. 52 minutes, eh? Very important that. Over 4 days before returning the unanimous verdict today. And here's the guilty parties, the culprits: Viorel Doroscan and Otniel Richardo Clejan or Clejan. Good Irish names, eh? They all come from Meath, by the way, I believe. Even Mahamud Ilyas, he's a Meath man too. 2 men found guilty of the murder of this young lad, Mahamud Ilyas, who was beaten to death and dumped in a wooded area in County Meath after a row over a stolen bag of drugs. Life is cheap, folks. Life is cheap. And when these guys decide, or girls sometimes decide, that you've done something wrong and you need to pay the price, you could pay with your life over something so small. They returned a unanimous verdict today against Viorel Doroscan, aged 23, and Otniel Richardo Clejan, 24, rejecting the defence case that the 2 men had acted in self-defence. Self-defence. After they claimed Mr Ilyas came running into an apartment with a weapon and threatened to kill them. Neither Doroscan or Clejan made reactions as the jury's verdicts were delivered. No reaction. If you were acting in self-defence and you'd just been found guilty of murder, I would have said you would have at least went or screamed, no! No reaction. No reaction. That tells a story in and of itself. No reaction. No reaction. There they are. The prosecution contended that those pair were involved in the sale and supply of drugs. They beat Mr Ilyas to death over a row. There he is. Witness. Oh, there was a witness to this. Who was the witness? Vladi Dosimau. Vladi Dosimau. Another Meath man, no doubt. Previously told the trial he barged through the door of the apartment after hearing a loud banging noise, as you do. Inside, he said he witnessed Mr Ilyas sitting on a floor with his back against a radiator, looking as if he had been beaten. With blood coming from his nose, hands and feet were tied using rope or zip tie, and he was moaning. moaning as you would, I imagine, especially if the radiator was turned on. Get a burnt back as well. While Mr. Clejan and Doroscan shouted at him. Yeah, sounds like self-defense to me, guys. What do you think? And girls, what do you think? It's probably the worst argument in history for self-defense, especially when you're person you're allegedly defending yourself against is sitting on the floor groaning with his hands and feet immobilized. Mr. Doroscan, holding a fruit knife, stood between Mr. Ilyas's legs. Nasty. While Mr. Clejan stood close to his head with hammer in hand. Oh dear, oh dear. Every time they asked him something, he responded by groaning. In his closing address to the jury, Ewan Lawler, for the Director of Public Prosecution, said use of a hammer was the modus operandi for conflict resolution employed by Doroscan, while the callous way the victim was disposed of indicated it was a joint enterprise. So Doroscan was living in Bay Meadow Square, Hollystown, West Dublin. My apologies, they're Dublin men. With a former address at Verdamont in Blanchardstown in Dublin 15, had pleaded not guilty. The jury's continuing deliberations in relation to... Oh, there's another one. There's another one. I told you it's like a rock. You lift up a rock. You know, if you lift up a rock in your back garden, all these little insects come running out. Well, here's another one. The jury is continuing deliberation in relation to a co-accused, Lorenzo Cantaragio. He's another Dublin man, Castle Grange Park, Blanchardstown, who faces various charges of impeding the prosecution or apprehension of Clejan and Doroscan by carrying out various acts like the Pushka family, allegedly covering up for their disgusting vermin brother, allegedly burning his clothes, allegedly not informing the guards when they knew and he had confessed to doing heinous things, allegedly. Now we have another one, Lorenzo. It's alleged he drove the two murder accused and the deceased to Belgree Lane and he cleaned the car in which they travelled. So basically he was acting as a sort of a hearse of types, but not a licensed one. He has pleaded guilty, or not guilty, to all the charges. So there you have it. Another one, another person dead. Mahamud Ilyas dead. 3 others under suspicion or convicted. And on it goes. These are all young men too, you know, in their 20s. Should be doing good things with their life, maybe thinking about getting a woman, settling down, having a family, getting their foot on the property ladder, although this is Ireland, so the chances of them getting a house are pretty slim, or renting a place for that matter. Let's forget that. Let's just stick with getting themselves hitched. Do people still do that in Ireland? Do people still get married? Do people still have kids because the birth rate's dropping? But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So that's the state of play from these Blanchardstown boys. What do you think? Leave me a thought, comment, or opinion below. Do you know anything about these people? Is this your area? Is this your manor? You heard this story before? Is it a surprise? Tell me below in the comment section. I'm Rickman, no risk, no reward. Media, over and out.